I'm solo camping all alone in the middle of a remote national forest. It's just me, my SUV, and a cooler full of food that probably violates several dietary guidelines. I scored an epic campsite out here. It's quiet, peaceful, with no one around for miles. But here's why you're gonna actually want to stick around. At the end of the video, I'm gonna tell you the most embarrassing and honestly kind of controversial story of my entire life.
I probably shouldn't tell this because, well, you're gonna understand why. I'm not trying to make this political.
I've never shared this publicly before, and for good reason. Let's get into it.
I have to pee so bad right now. 12 minutes. 12 minutes, we got this. Oh, thank goodness. Oof. All right, I will see you in just a second.
A few moments later.
Whew. Oh, sorry. I took my shirt off when I pee. Give me a second. Ugh. I'm in the mountains of central Utah, we'll say, and there's a little trail run I want to do here. There's a 15% chance of thunderstorms, which is not high, but clouds that you can't see don't look great. And honestly, I'm really scared of storms. I think I'm just gonna go for it. And if the clouds get worse or I hear thunder, I'll turn around and I'll jet right back down, which is kind of embarrassing, to be honest. However, it's not as embarrassing as the story I'm gonna tell you when I get to camp, because that is literally the most embarrassing story of my life, and probably shouldn't even be saying it on the internet, but here we are, folks. I don't know why I'm so nervous right now. I've got everything I need. I have my Garmin InReach, I have plenty of water, my cell phone, obviously. I'm even carrying protection just in case. It's a Magnum. I'm not really sure what the brand is. Or it's Trojan, actually. That's what it is. I just need to do this. All right. All right, here goes nothing. The sun came out. Clouds have cleared out a little bit. I think I was just being a baby. We got this. And look, it's absolutely beautiful. Man, that's a beautiful house over there. I'm in the middle of a national forest right now, surrounded by public land, and then there's just a house. Like, I see those all over the place here in Utah. How do they do that? How do you just get a private house, a beautiful one, in the middle of a national forest? I'm jealous. That's goals right there. Good bit of snow way out there. Hopefully we don't see any of that. All right, we're about to get a good view of the clouds here. Let's see how bad this is really looking. Don't love that, to be honest. Haven't heard any thunder. I believe that's the summit of the mountain I'm going to. And as you can probably see, there's not much tree cover between where I'm standing right now and the actual summit, which means if there is a pop-up thunderstorm, not in a great spot for it. Holy crap. Gotcha. I'm so close to the top. Gotta get up this somehow though. Boys, I'm getting tired. But ladies, I'm doing just fine. I now know what all those Everest climbers are going through. The air is getting thin. We did it. Not sure what that is. Must be something for the chemtrails. I believe this is the summit. Wow. I don't know how well it's coming across on camera, but almost everything I'm looking at this way is burnt. There was a huge fire over here. I don't remember, maybe like 10 years ago or something like that. This side of the ridge over here didn't get burnt, and it's absolutely beautiful down there. Nice and green and lush, but over here, it's just dead trees for miles, even all the way over there too. Just so bad. Yeah, that'll be the last time I play my mixtape in a dry forest. Oh, I wish I could stay longer, but I am so hungry. I'm cooking up some bratwurst tonight and sweet potatoes. I'm gonna kind of fry them up in the pan, so like janky French fries, basically. But the thing is, first of all, I have to get down this mountain, and second of all, I have to find a campsite. And I gotta tell you guys that embarrassing story too. I've been thinking about that. So I've got a lot of things to do before it's time for dinner. We might just do some driving and some exploring once I get down this, if I can do it without rolling an ankle. Running down a mountain, baby. I love it. I can see my car down there. Hi, car. Almost there. 6.3 miles. I'm not sure how much elevation gain because I don't have service, but from the map, I think it was about 1,700 feet. 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 3 seconds. Not too bad. Oh, oops. My leg! I am dirty, folks, and I don't want to be all dirty in my nice, clean car camping setup here. I need to clean off. How do you clean off when you're in a national forest? Because I don't have a shower. Well, let's go find a reservoir. There was one car at the trailhead besides mine, but I didn't see any other hikers out there. So he's probably dead. Oh, there's a deer. Hey, you know where the reservoir is? No? All right. Here we go. I just realized I had boogers in my nose for all those shots. Not great. I guess I'm just gonna stand here like an idiot for a few minutes. Just do the all air dry. All right, I cleaned off, I changed, and now it's time to find a campsite here, folks. Big bump. Oh. Now there's a road a couple miles up here that I scoped out on Google Maps and satellite view and all that stuff, and it looks like there's a couple spots with some amazing views. But there's a catch. There's always a catch, folks. There is a good chance that all the sites are taken. It is a Sunday night, so not exactly the most popular time of the week to go camping. I always get anxious about that, and so also this road is up on a ridge. It looks amazing. It looks beautiful. That means that there actually could be some snow on the road still, so the road might not even be all that passable. And in addition to that, because it's on a ridge, it also might be super windy up there. I'm not having a fire tonight because you're not allowed to right now. It doesn't really seem like the safest location and stuff, so if it's like really, really windy, even if it's an amazing view and stuff, it might be hard to justify camping there. I don't know. It's right up here. Let's go see. I'm basically gonna take the first cool looking site I see on this road. It goes for a long ways. Ideally, we don't have to go too far down this. There's a spot right here, and it certainly has a pretty sweet view. I could go there, to be honest with you. Or do I get cocky and try to keep going? I'm kind of having fun exploring this road. I'm gonna keep going just a little bit further. Hopefully the road doesn't get any worse. It's fine right now, but I have a Kia Telluride SUV, and so it's not like I'm driving a Prius up here, or a Tesla, like the person in front of me, but it's not a off-road vehicle either, you know? It's not a 4Runner, it's definitely not a pickup truck, and I don't even have four-wheel drive. I have all-terrain tires, but no four-wheel drive, and so I am a little bit limited with where I can take this thing. I am seriously considering buying a van that is ideally four-wheel drive. I mean, I don't need like a rock crawler, but something a little bit more off-road capable than this. And so if this new channel goes well, and you guys want to see more camping videos like this, that would honestly make it a lot easier for me to drop some dough on a nicer rig that can hopefully get to some more remote, cooler campsites. But for now, we got the Telluride, baby. Here's that snow I was talking about. Looks like they cleared it off the road though. This road's in amazing shape. I can't believe this. There is a decent drop off the side though. I don't love that. Also haven't seen any other campsites yet. Don't love that either. I wonder if I should have just taken that one. Might regret it, we'll see. Oh, I was hoping I could get down there somehow. Let's go explore a little bit on foot. Oh, definitely some wind, but it's not too bad. Look at that view. Wow. Oh. It's just a little too rough down here for my car, I think. It is pretty windy too. All right, I found my spot for sure. Wait till you guys see this. Almost 360-degree views here. and that's west. So the sun's going down right there tonight. I love Utah. And I love you too. But I honestly love Utah more, unless you're like my mom or my girlfriend or something. All right, sweet campsite. I think it's time to make dinner. Got to do some rearranging first. And these are my dirty socks from earlier. My leg! Look out, I'll get you. Dirty hiking backpack, don't need this no more. Don't judge me based on how disgusting this stove is right now. It's bad. Gonna need that. Gonna need that. That, probably shouldn't throw that. And we're gonna need this disgusting, dirty stove. Oh, it's so greasy, guys. I think I've cleaned this thing once. And honestly, maybe it's not as bad on camera. No, it's pretty bad. It's certainly not gonna stop me from cooking some sausages tonight, though. I'm definitely dehydrated right now, and I'm starving, so let's cut up some potatoes. I'm gonna try to make these like French fries. They're not gonna actually be like French fries, but they're gonna be fail fries. This knife is quite dull. I need to sharpen this thing. It's kind of dangerous when your knife's not sharp, because then you have to like press harder, and if your knife's sharper, you might think that's more dangerous, but it's actually easier to use, therefore you mess up less. But I also have no idea what I'm talking about. Pretty sure I saw that on TikTok somewhere, so don't listen to me. I'm also gonna cut up some onions and peppers, and while I'm doing that, I'm finally gonna tell you the most embarrassing story of my life, the most embarrassing moment ever. And to be honest with you guys, I probably shouldn't tell this because, well, you're gonna understand why, but I'm not trying to make this political. I'm not trying to make this controversial. I don't care what your political beliefs are. Like, that's not what this is about. I also need to give a big disclaimer that I believe I was 12 years old when this happened. I think the year was 2009. Does that math check out? I was born in 96. I was very, very young when this happened. And how do I say this? Like, back then, as I'm sure some of you remember, most of you remember, unless you skipped that year, 2009. Maybe I should have, honestly, based on what happened. Back then, the culture here in America was just a little different when it came to...
So I kept cooking and proceeded to tell this entire story, and then I immediately regretted it. A few days later, I talked to another YouTuber friend about it, and they were like, dude, you cannot tell that story publicly in a video, like absolutely no chance. And so ultimately I've cut this part of the video out. I promise I wasn't trying to like tease you guys for nothing. And so let me finish making dinner here. Let me enjoy this campsite a little bit longer. And then I'm going to take you to a completely new campsite and tell you the second most embarrassing story of my life. Because that one won't get me in quite as much trouble, although some of you are still going to hate me for it, to be honest.
I'm going to try to fry these up a little bit. A little salt, and we got a little black pepper and some paprika. Oh, and guess I'll throw one of those in too. Onions and peppers going down. Oops. Be careful with tinfoil, folks. This edge is deceptively dangerous. I sliced my finger real good on some tinfoil one time. Fortunately, I was not camping. All right, chicken sausages are going down. That's right, these are chicken. They're still Italian style, so. Oh no, I only meant to do 3. All right, guess I'm eating 4 then. Oh boy. All right, the wind picked up, so I'm eating in the car. But that's not a bad thing. Look at this absolutely gorgeous view out the front. Without further ado, this sausage just took so long to cook. I'm starving right now. These could be extremely overcooked or completely undercooked. I have no idea, but I can't wait. I'm so hungry. I did not eat much today. This is hitting the spot. That's what they came out like. Not the prettiest thing in the world. Yeah, some mustard would help, but it's hitting, man. Now let's see about these French fries buried in here, if you can even call them that. They're just potatoes that were fried and seasoned. They look good, though. Oh, yeah. I'm a pig right now. I'm so sorry. Let me finish all this food if I can. We'll see. Then we'll watch the sunset. That sound good? What a lovely sunset that was, wasn't it? You know, I kind of want to just enjoy this in peace and silence. And therefore, I think I'm going to finish my most embarrassing story over coffee tomorrow morning, which is pretty much going to be about 7 seconds for you guys. So let me just kill 7 more seconds here. Actually, no, I got to get in bed. Good morning. I literally just woke up. One of the problems with sleeping in your car is that as soon as the sun hits it in the morning, it turns into an oven. So I am baking hot right now. I need to get out and I need some coffee. Coffee time. Oh, I hate this. I better use a lighter instead. Coffee. I forgot to bring my French press, and so Folgers Instant it is. Not the best. I don't know, 2? Do I do 2 in 1 cup? Might as well. All right, I should finish this story.
Ready to go forward in time? Ready? 3, 2, 1.
All right, I'm at a different campsite now. I swear I didn't do this to clickbait you or whatever. I told that last story and then I had a bad feeling about it. And so I talked to one of my friends who's a YouTuber. And as soon as I told them the story, they were like, you cannot post that on the internet in 2025. And so here we are. Instead, I'm going to tell you the second most embarrassing story of my life. But in a way, this is actually probably more embarrassing because the first story, I was 12. My brain hadn't finished developing. I was still getting acquainted with societal norms. But for this story, my brain probably still wasn't done developing, but I was a full adult at this point. And kind of like the other story, this story's a little political, just a little bit, but like the point of this is not to say that like people on one side or of the issue are right and the other people are wrong or vice versa. The point of this story is that I was an idiot and I completely embarrassed myself. So I was 19 years old when this happened. That was 10 years ago. Wow. I'm 29 now. And my girlfriend at the time and I were driving in upstate New York. And by upstate New York, I don't mean like Poughkeepsie. I'm talking like way upstate New York. I don't remember exactly like what town we were in or what road we were on, but we were up in the Thousand Islands region. Anyways, the year is 2015, I believe. We were right next to the border of Canada. Like we're on the road, then there's the St. Lawrence River, and then there's the Canada, like the country. And I don't know what I had been watching on social media prior to this drive. Again, I was 19. You think you have everything figured out when you're 19. Like when you're 12, you're just a goofy 12-year-old. No offense if any 12-year-olds are watching this, which you probably shouldn't be. But when you're 19, you've had enough life to think that you have everything figured out. And I'll tell you right now, full offense if you're 19 and you're watching this, you do not have it figured out. I just sound like an old geezer like sitting on my porch now, like, yeah. But anyways, I must have been watching YouTube videos of these people that like get stopped at like a DUI checkpoint or an immigration checkpoint. And when the authorities are at their window, they either don't roll the window down or they're just like, you know, I'm not answering any questions, you know, Fifth Amendment, blah, 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 Third Amendment, don't put any troops in my house. Like, you know what I'm saying? We need to protect the Third Amendment, guys. I mean, everyone talks about the Second Amendment. We need to protect the Third Amendment too. I've heard way too many stories of troops being quartered in people's house. Anyways, that was a joke. This pertains to the Fifth Amendment. So I've been watching all these videos of like, you know, a guy drives through a DUI checkpoint. He's not drunk, obviously. And, you know, I'm not saying this is right. I'm not saying this is wrong. Whatever you think is what I think, but like there's an argument to be made, at least we'll say. Some people argue that DUI checkpoints or immigration checkpoints like this are unconstitutional because, I mean, I don't really know why, to be honest, but like it's a little different than if you get pulled over where like you did something wrong, you sped, you hit an old lady with your car. These checkpoints are different. You weren't doing anything wrong. You just happened to drive up to it and now they're like questioning you and stuff. So, you know, some people have a problem with that. Apparently I did. at the time. And the thing is, when you watch all these videos on YouTube, or at least back then, the person in the car always ends up like owning the cop somehow, or that's how it's edited. That's how it's spun, right? And so in all these videos I would watch, the guy would like pull up, he'd like barely roll down his window, and then the cop or whoever would ask for his identification, his driver's license, and he would just be like, nope, this is unconstitutional, blah, 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 the whole thing, you know, again, whatever you think is what I think. But, you know, you've seen these videos before. And in all the videos I watched, they always got away with it. Like the cop would be kind of embarrassed and then they would just wave him through. And then the guy would be like, dude, I stood up for my rights. Those tyrannical cops trying to stop drunk drivers from killing children. I showed them what's up. And, you know, I watched plenty of videos where it was the same thing with immigration checkpoints. And again, some people have a problem with this. I'm not taking a side here. To be honest, I don't really have much of an opinion anymore. Definitely not as strong as I did back then. For some reason, I was 19. Why did I care? But I think it's something like if you're within 100 miles of any of the U.S.'s international borders, then they're allowed to set up these immigration checkpoints. It's basically just like a DUI checkpoint where you didn't commit a crime or do anything wrong, so you're not getting pulled over, you just kind of drive up to it and, you know, they're just checking people. And I don't know why they had one near the Canadian border back in 2015, but again, I don't want to get all political. So we roll up to one of these immigration checkpoints and all of these videos just start flooding my mind. I fell for the propaganda. Like I was like, you know what, this is in my head. I'm like, this is not right. Like we didn't do anything wrong. We're not crossing the border either. You know, obviously if you cross the border, you're gonna have to go through a checkpoint. I'd also never been through one of these before. It's still to my life. This is the only time I've ever driven through one of these checkpoints, immigration or DUI. And so in my cocky little 19-year-old head, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna show these guys what's up. I'm gonna stand up for my rights and the rights of all Americans. And non-Americans, apparently. And again, if you're one of these people that's like Fifth Amendment, auditor, whatever stuff, like I'm not taking a side here. I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. Like if you roll up to one of these checkpoints and you really know your stuff, you know your rights and like do your thing. Like I honestly don't care. But the thing is, I did not know my stuff. I thought I did from watching these stupid YouTube videos, but I did not know my stuff. And it would have been one thing if I was by myself. But like I said at the beginning of this story, I was with my girlfriend at the time. This poor girl who definitely had not been watching these ridiculous videos and who definitely did not know anything about this or want anything to do with what I was about to do. Oh, and I was also driving her car. I was in the driver's seat, but it was her car. So that wasn't great either. Come to think of it, the only time I've ever been pulled over, you know, actually pulled over in my life was also when I was driving her car. 2015 was a rough time for me in driving. It wasn't even like a busy checkpoint. Like we didn't have to wait in line for a long time. And so I don't know why I was so angry. And even if you think like these checkpoints are wrong, like we weren't doing anything wrong. We're both legal citizens. We were not doing anything wrong. And so we pull up and I'm just fuming for some reason. 19-year-old ego. At least I rolled down my window. Like in a lot of those videos, you see them like they'll literally crack the window like this much and like slide their driver's license through like it's like an ATM or something. I roll my window down and this border patrol agent, you know, full uniform, gun, jacked, tough looking guy, right? Honestly, maybe I should give myself more credit because like this guy looked like he meant business, okay? And he asked me for my driver's license and he asked me, you know, where we're going. And I looked him dead in the eye and I said, sir, I don't answer questions. God. Oh my God, so cringy. As soon as I said that, my ex-girlfriend sitting in the passenger seat was just dumbfounded, right? I don't remember if she said anything to me, but she was just like, what is he doing? And the immigration guy, needless to say, was not amused whatsoever. I mean, he sees these two like young, obviously, you know, American kids. We're driving a New York plated car in New York. We're obviously just college students. I doubt he really wanted to get me in trouble, like actual trouble or anything. I think when I started mouthing off to him a little bit here, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna teach this arrogant son of a gun a big lesson, one that he's gonna inevitably talk about in a YouTube video 10 years later. And so he looks at me and he goes, oh, you don't want to answer questions? Pull over to the secondary checkpoint right now. And I tried to respond. I don't even remember what I said. I was probably just like, oh, but like, he didn't even let me. He was just like,
pull over to the secondary checkpoint right now.
Like he kind of yelled at me and I was like,
okay, I totally caved, dude. So much for standing on principle, standing up for my rights. I totally caved. So I start to drive, over to the secondary checkpoint, and my ex-girlfriend is freaking out, dude. Or I don't know if she was freaking out. Like, she was just not comfortable. She was like, what are you doing? Like, what is this? Like, what? Well, you could have just given him your license and we would have been fine. Like, so embarrassing, dude. And so I pull over to the secondary checkpoint, and the same guy actually came over and talked to me more. And he basically just chewed me out. I honestly don't remember what he said, but he basically just chewed me out, and I relented immediately. I gave him my license. I don't remember if I apologized. Hopefully I did, but he basically just taught me a lesson. Taught me a lesson for being a smart ass, and they let us go. And then I had to explain to my ex-girlfriend why I just did that. Needless to say, we broke up a couple months later. You know those moments when you're laying in bed late at night and like you're just trying to fall asleep and like you're almost falling asleep, like you're about to like pass out, and then all of a sudden you get jolted awake with a really embarrassing, cringy moment from your life that's like 10 years old, like something that does not matter anymore and probably didn't really matter that much at the time, but like you're just laying in bed now, it's like 2 a.m. and you're just wide awake thinking about this one stupid cringy thing you did 10 years ago, and like, that thing, we've all done it, man. This story is that for me. Like, this is that story I come back to and I'm just like, oh, what was I thinking, man? Again, like, I don't know. If you want to do that, go ahead, but like, I don't really see the point. I don't think that's really helping anything. But even beyond that, if you're gonna do that, you gotta know your stuff, right? And you gotta be ready, you gotta be tough, you gotta be strong. I was none of those things. I did not know what I was talking about. I probably couldn't have even named the Fifth Amendment at the time. Well, I mean, I could have, but in the moment, like when I was freaked out after he yelled at me, I probably would have just been like, oh, the Third Amendment, no quartered soldiers, okay?